Nice, now it comes to life, I would say. Hello my dear friends and colleagues, Martin here again. And in this video I show you two products I'm using the first time. The first one is Watercolors Gansai Tambi, so traditional watercolor, but in a very reduced color palette. They need Okay. They nearly look all black, but of course they are not. They are called Sumi Red, Sumi Yellow, Sumi Green, Sumi Blue, Sumi Violet and Sumi Brown. So this is a reduced palette, as you see here, in blue and green, some yellow, poorly black and white drawing. This one was traditional watercolor palette, so bright, shiny, bold watercolor. And for our testing this new palette, I did a ink drawing, line work here already, and so we will color it. Yes, with this reduced palette. Yeah, with these colors. First time, really the first time. I just got it today. I ordered it on this one on Amazon, but Kuretake you can also buy in your local art store, art supplies store, or anywhere else. And the second one is, because these are more so dark monochromatic colors, I want to have the paper white for highlights, and therefore I have this art masking fluid, so a liquid mask from Winsor & Newton to protect the highlights. In the past, sometimes I used white acrylic white gouache to add some highlights afterwards on the watercolor, but I didn't like the overall how this looks when there is white on the watercolor. So I want to protect the highlights from the paper, so white is then really paper white. So we start with the masking fluid. With this one I only did one simple test, and that turns quite well. So the liquid, the consistency is that it's very good to use it with this ruler pen, as well as with a brush. Okay, so I would say we start with this ruler pen, and therefore I take an older brush, let's say this one, and there I go into the liquid mask, and then I can apply here. Now this is, and then you can adjust the thickness. You can adjust with this screw here, and then it's called a ruler pen because you can use it with a ruler. I'll take one and do some highlights. So let's say here on the roof, and then let's add. Okay, I need more of this liquid. And it's a good thing that it's a little bit yellowish, so that you can see. I don't know if you see it on the video, but I can see where I used it already. And then here for the smaller parts I do it freehand. So, and one more I'll highlight here on this windows, on the frame of the windows. and then some sparkles or something like that here at the tree. I think I should use soap to clean this brush. Okay, so that we don't use it too much, otherwise we want to see it, we want to test it, and next time I will add these highlights more blend. And now this is just a random using this. Okay, let's clean this. Hair dryer, the best friend for watercolorists. And then we start, I think, with this front here, violet, brown, sumi blue. Sumi blue? Yellow is a little bit greenish, I saw on a YouTube video. Let's start with this sumi brown. Maybe I mix it here so I can add more water. And we start with this part here. And then we will see how the colors bleed into each other and how even you can do some errors of this drawing. So here I added more shadows, quite dark when it's wet, but we'll see then when it's dry. And we also want to see if we can lift up with a dry brush. Ah yes, you can lift it up as well here in the dark corners. But of course now we have to darken this. Okay, so now let's go to the sumi green for this tree. That's what we need. So they are very dark when using less water. What I can say from now, but maybe when when you add more water or when they dry, they will get lighter a little bit. So this is a very reduced color palette. This is what you maybe often hear: reduce your color palette while doing watercolors. So not always that shiny, bright, colorful. And with this palette, with this choice of paints, you can do this very easily. More on the darker side, of course. More water, and then I do some shadows with less water. So, and this is of course not for doing a great artwork. Oops. Just for testing it. The paper is a 300 gram Winsor & Newton 100% cotton. That's important, 100% cotton. For watercolor, I think so. I tested out others with 25% cotton, more or less, and they didn't work for me. So really, I want it full 100% cotton. The green. So as you see, I don't mix the colors in this first try. But so the green, I like this very washed out pastel green. Then we can be surprised about this dark red for the, you can guess it, for the roofs, of course. And you know my other drawings and tutorials. And then we have another tree here. We need some darker parts here. Shadow, contrast, yes. With the so-called, so brown we had for this, brown is relatively a black, gray, something like this. So let's try this violet. What's when I use it for this trunk of the tree? Oh, why not? Yeah, so it's a, yeah, it's not the, let's try with some red, green. Let's do more green in it. So yeah, this is what we want to use for the wooden trunks here and these fence pillows. Yeah, that's what I call the reduced color palette. Okay, now the roofs. Come on, red. So this is the first one here. Violet, I would call it violet, but okay, in this range. So you get very easily on wet and dry, you get a very even surface. That's very nice. So not a granulated one, really easy. And of course, when you add less water, we can do this gradients, hopefully. Okay, I should start it in another way to get this gradient here, but that's okay for now. Look at this, very easy. With less of the paint, you can color a large area. Okay, so what we didn't use the blue one, maybe for the background. So let's take this yellow. Okay, this is more olive. Okay, and then we take this with very much water. We take this for the wooden part of this farmhouse. Okay. Then, because there are these poles, I have to leave them white, but behind the fence there is of course a building behind at this terrace. So I do this very loose and quick. Some shadow underneath. Ah, nice. Spooky. Like that. I like that. I think so. So, and then the last part here. And as well some less water with the Sumi Yellow. Sumi Yellow. So this thing, I think this is a very personal decision if you like this color, this choice of color palette, this range of colors or not. Really very subjective. And then let's do this front door. I mix a little bit blue and a little bit red. But you see how even you can, very uniform, you can add this color to the paper. We will add some more shadows when these colors are dry. And then I will take this, what's called here the Sumi Blue. And I really need a little bit more, so I take this here, and then we turn the sketchbook upside down. Let's do this white and white. Okay, blue. Here we go. Where is my blue? Okay. This reminds me on when you have an old black and white photo from the older centuries, and then you color it. Yes, and because of the gray tones and then the color above it, you get this look. I really like how this color performs on the paper. So nice and even. With a nice gradient in this case. Okay, let's turn it around. And for the what they call yellow, this one, for the ground. This is a good practice for what can we do with such a small amount of different and not so different colors. How can we use them effective in a nice, interesting way? Yeah, and then we can add some. So now with the synthetic fiber for this precise dip, we take our Sumi brown, what I would call it more a black, for the shadows. Sie, Senora?
Ich bin fertig.
Gut, ja, ich bin auch gleich fertig.
Ja.
Ciao. Okay, sorry. Is it dry now? We'll see. Oh yeah, because it's very important that the color is really dry, otherwise you would smudge the wet color with this on these now white areas of the protected parts. But look at this nice highlights on the window side here. And honestly, I think it's more colorful than I expected. Nice, now it comes to life, I would say. Conclusio. I will use it definitely more. Now this looks a little bit so icy or like snow here where the protected areas were. And I think I have removed everything. And this sketchbook, by the way, I made myself. First time. I cut the paper from a big roll, because that's cheaper than the pads. And then and you see, not very well done, but for the first try, and I have the paper I want in a size that I like, and this is why the pages are numbered here. Okay, so bye for now, hope to see you next time. Yep. Wife is waiting.